Today we talk about how to shift from a pessimistic mindset to an optimistic mindset. Now, many of you guys might not believe me, but I used to be a pessimist. I thought that the world was out to get me. I always thought negatively and didn't realize that my negative thoughts was impacting my reality. I kind of became a complainer because of my negative mindset, because of my pessimistic mindset. If everything was going correctly for me and one tiny thing was occurring, I would amplify that tiny thing and feel that life was happening to me, not for me. This is a pessimistic mindset that I had growing up. When I was in school and there was a test, I would say to myself, I am stupid. I'm going to fail this test. Now, having that experience, I could have flipped that and told myself, yes, this test was hard, but I'm just going to study harder next time. By being pessimistic, you focus on solutions and opportunities. When I was a pessimist, I focused on a permanent outcome that was going to be my setback. I realized that this had to change because I cannot live my life on defense, that living a life like this was going to make me miserable. And the way that I started shifting my pessimistic mindset to an optimistic mindset was, first of all, I realized other people around me and how optimistic they were. And I would look at them and wish that I was like them. So the first step that I took was I used to be aware of my thoughts. So let's say if I had a bad thought in my head, I'd acknowledge it, realize that, hey, this is a negative thought. I think that's step one. And then I would pause and immediately flip it into something positive. For example, instead of saying, oh, I have a bad hair day today, I'm ugly, I would flip it and be like, okay, great. Now I could try another hairstyle. Let's do a slick back today. That's how you could flip it, you know? It's really important to understand your thoughts and realize that these thoughts are just thoughts in your head. They're not facts. So it's important to realize a negative thought and flip it into something positive. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you're going to recognize that thought that you just had and flip, I can't do this, to I'm learning and I'm going to figure this out. Do you see, when you said, I can't do this, immediately it felt like there's no options. This is the fact and there's no possible solution to this fact. But once you flipped it to, you know what, I'm going to learn and figure this out, you are giving yourself possibilities. You're giving yourself solutions. You're not telling yourself that this is a dead end. And at first, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to recognize those thoughts and immediately flip it around and make it into something positive. But I promise you that the more that you try this, the easier it's going to become, to the point that it just becomes automatic for you. Because your mindset isn't something that you're just born with. It's kind of like a muscle. The more that you train it, the easier it'll be, the stronger it'll get. And let's say if that's a little bit difficult to do, I would recommend getting a journal, journaling it down, writing that thought, physically seeing it, doing thought dumps, rewriting limiting beliefs, and writing down affirmations that actually align with the reality that you want. And people don't realize this, but the one voice that is going to be in your head and speaking to you till the day that you die is the voice in your head. And your mind believes anything that you tell it. You have the power to shape it. You have the power to tell that voice what to tell you. So speak to yourself with intention, rewire, retrain, and reinforce. And also, I feel like I was pessimistic because I tried to have such a death grip on life. I wanted to control every single aspect of my life. But the second that I realized that it is what it is and that life happens for you, I stopped controlling everything. I know I'm going to try my best, but not everything's underneath my control. And I know that life will happen for me, not to me, not against me. You just have to trust timing. You have to take the opportunities. And by loosening a little bit of this death grip, your nervous system relaxes and you stop living in survival mode. Because what's meant for you will always find you, but it only finds you when you stop forcing something that isn't aligned. You have to trust your journey because your journey is different than others. That's why it's your journey. not our journey, or else everyone's going to be following the same footsteps and becoming one, We're all unique. Our journeys are different. Some people get things earlier than others. Some people lose things earlier than others. Everyone's journey is unique to them. So it's best to not compare yourself. And you have to believe in the life that you deserve. Because why not you? You cannot receive what you think you are not worthy of. You have to realize that the most important relationship is the one with yourself. Your life expands when your self-belief expands. And you gotta understand that other people's perspectives are shifted and formed because of their own experiences. So if others don't believe in you, it's because they are not you. Their doubts come from their own experiences, limits, and fears. You can't expect people to see the vision in your head when that vision was not given to them. So show up for yourself even on days that you don't feel like it. Flip the negative thoughts into something positive. And remember that mindset is a skill, it's not a personality trait. You can change your mindset. You can make it stronger. You can do whatever you want with your mindset, but you have to choose to take that step and do it and practice it. So try one tiny shift today for yourself. When you catch yourself with a negative thought, I want you to pause, flip it into something positive, and continue doing it. Even just doing that once today will help and make a difference. As always, I love you so much and take care of yourself. Bye. The content of this show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical or mental health advices and does not constitute or provide a patient-provider relationship. I'm just your bestie. I am not a licensed therapist or professional, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician or other qualified professional. As always, talk to your doctor, healthcare provider, or professional. Talk to you soon. Bye.